Welcome back to Dicing with Death, everyone. So,
I pull my colored sand out of my pocket, as it sounded like he was going to say something, but I'd like to beat him to the punch.
All right, roll me initiative.
Breaking into my room. I shoot first, ask questions later.
Fair enough. Roll some initiative.
6.
Total?
So he maybe does have time to start talking before I get the spray off, but I think I'm going to cast the spell regardless. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Color Spray is cast in 1.
Yes. So you begin casting Color Spray as the shadowy robed figure says to you, "It has come time for you to prove your services to our Lord."
Okay. Can you just, I guess, let's do Color Spray and then I'll ask for a description if he stays standing.
Right.
So he doesn't take an action, or he doesn't beat me?
He does not beat you. He says those words before you get your spray off.
Yeah.
Your color spray.
If he is 6th level.
Colors scatter all over him.
So hold on, if he is above the level of the spellcaster and all those 6th level or more. So if he's 6th level or higher, he gets a saving throw. Otherwise, he doesn't. It sounds like he got it. Did he get a saving throw? Saving throw.
This character does not fall unconscious.
Is this corporeal? Is this like a wraith, a projection, an apparition?
I think you're probably a little just stunned that the spell had no effect. He doesn't even blink or bat his eyes at it as he gets covered in the color spray. And he says, "Malchus calls you, Georg. Do you think you could carry around his powerful amulet without ever being asked anything in exchange?"
I self-consciously look side to side and down the hallway. Are there any servants about? Is there any
no
witnesses?
Servants in the hall?
Okay. All right. I quickly and surreptitiously move to the door. I say, "It appears we have much to discuss." I give one last look over my shoulder to make sure none of this was spotted as I step into the room and shut my wizard lock door behind me.
Okay. Door shuts. So we're gonna just skip ahead a little bit later. Georg leaves.
Yes, emerged from my room, eyes purple with the true seeing.
Mm-hmm. Bright purple eyes glowing as you exit. Now, you said you wanted to spend a few days gathering spell components and checking in on things.
Yeah, I've got some things to replenish. And then that research to do. So I don't know if we just want to skip over a few days and do that accounting?
Yeah, let's just skip over a few days and do some accounting. Counting and Dragons, my favorite game. Okay. So,
Okay, so I need to make the golden needles. I believe we said I can do how many in a day?
A lot in a day.
Yeah.
More than you'll need in a day, right? I mean, it can't be that hard to... Well, maybe to get that little tiny needle hole. Still, if you've got the gold, you can melt it and roll those needles out pretty quickly. You could probably make 20 or 50 or 100 in a day. I don't really care. Make as many as you'd like.
All right, I'll add 20. And then I need to make a trip to Misty Rapids. We'll probably save that for the second day, but we can do that as well. Sure. But I will want to cast some new spells the next morning.
Sure.
Okay. So that evening I work in the laboratory. It'll matter at the needles.
Needles.
And water clock, I guess, because I'm working on as well. Hopefully, I don't know if a few days will do it, but.
Yeah, I think your water clock is almost
done. And then the
research.
I don't know if I'll crack at that later that night or the next day. But
Yeah, it'll take a day.
So that afternoon, I'll be bouncing between my room and the lab and the forge.
Make an int check
Working
after your
away.
day of research.
Yeah. So it was probably like 4 hours on each task or something. D20 plus int. Oh, barely. Malchus looks fondly upon me.
Malchus loves you somehow. The Gaius spell.
Or I get lucky, turn to the right page.
The Gaius spell is a 6th level spell. The reverse gravity spell is 7th level, which means that the wizardess, the conjurer, was at minimum 14th level.
Nice. What school are those from?
Gaius is enchantment, and reverse gravity, I think, is alteration.
Okay.
Is that right?
14th level wizardess just hiding out in the woods with their mongrelmen.
I think that's the only way 14th level wizards really survive, is by hiding out in the woods.
I know. Here I was thinking I'd be the first wizard to retire and build a tower in the Soggy Hills.
You've got company.
Okay.
Then you're gonna have to start paying homeowners association fees. You're gonna have to get together for the monthly wizard meeting when they decide how many mongrelmen each of them get and where their territory lies. And you want to build a magical scrying pool for everyone to play in. But, then you got to bring in the landscapers, and do you hire goblins to do the work, or do you bring in the gnomes? You can kill the goblins afterwards, but the gnomes are going to do better work, and it's a whole new level of nightmare.
It'll make your head spin. All right. And so then the next morning, I would like to catch up on some... Do I get any news from Song or Haynes or anyone over dinner/breakfast?
You find out that Baron Song is visiting in Cauldron right now.
Okay.
And he has taken the missus with him.
Ooh. So it's things are probably pretty chill around the house. I guess that's the reason the gatekeeper was so overbearing when I showed up, is that Baron Song's away. She wants to be extra cautious that I'm not bringing the party horse. Or maybe she was upset that I didn't bring the party horse back. My beloved unicorn.
You do hear a bit of news on maybe like your second day. You probably overhear this maybe when you're coming down for breakfast, and some of the other soldiers that are here. Haynes is gone, of course. He's with the captain. He's with Baron Song. Yeah, and he took most of the men with him, but there's a few
Cookie
soldiers.
Here? Cookie's got to be almost... have they had a kid yet?
Who the fuck is Cookie?
His girlfriend.
Oh, Cookie Dysek? Is that her name?
No. She's just a commoner, I think.
Who the fuck is Cookie?
She's the girl. Haynes left town or whatever.
Oh, Haynes' girl. Yeah. No. Cookie's here. I forgot who she was.
She's with child, right?
Yeah, she's preggers. She's super preggers.
Okay. Is there any word on what he's doing in Cauldron, or these are clearly not the people in the know?
These people have no idea what's going on.
So I probably get straight to my work.
Well, hold on. So you do overhear during breakfast one day by one of the other soldiers, and the two soldiers are talking, and you overhear them discussing the death of Mother Ullman.
Holy shit!
She is dead.
I don't think I exclaim "holy shit," but I choke on my muffin and spit it out like Mother Ullman.
I'm sorry. Did you know her well?
We were acquainted. She's dead.
Murdered.
I can't say that isn't a surprise, but who? How?
They shrug. Don't know. Funeral was a few days ago.
Jesus. I mean, there's no Jesus equivalent.
There's Sarah Martha Verossi Malchus. Which one slips from your lips? It probably just wouldn't even be my lexicon. I wasn't raised religious.
I'm a trained wizard of some reputable academy somewhere across the sea.
I wasn't raised religious, and yet I still say Jesus.
Okay. So is this the next morning?
Yeah.
All right. I will have I'll cast a clairvoyance that very morning. So I do
To look in on the temple?
No, I just heard what's going on in the temple.
Okay.
I want to check in on Thornwood and Ramdal. I guess nothing's come of it yet, but still optimistically, I'll check on his. There's the library, I guess, to see if.
To see if he left a message for you.
Yeah, maybe I'll try and do 2 clairvoyance because this is a study day. I don't probably need. Instead of my Phantom Steed, I'll have done another clairvoyance. So 2. Okay.
You clairvoyance in on Ramdal's little note-bearing section, and there is a sheet of paper.
There is.
There is.
What does it say?
On it is drawn a picture of a hairy, naked gnoll with a raging erection and flipping you off.
What the? This is Randall's work. Did he sign it? No,
There's no signature, but that's what's like on that designated section where you are supposed to look in and see what's going on.
Yeah. Can I get like a view of the rest of the room? Like this is in some corner of the library, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else going on there, or is it just like shelves of a few books?
Everything else looks pretty normal. You see like a mouse crawling across the floor.
All right. Let me delete my spell component. What's that? Pineal gland. All right. I want to cast my second clairvoyance. I'll check the courtroom in Thornwood to see if Ramdal's there, see what's going on. There's like the audience hall?
Yes.
Whatever. There's like a meeting hall.
The main audience hall in Thornwood?
Yeah. It's probably just after breakfast, so presumably the court should be in session.
Yes. You see Countess Castilian there with Ramdal at her side, Erica at her other side. A few more guards kind of around the area on the wrong perimeter, and a long line of commoners standing before a small podium. She's on her raised dais, and you can't hear them because it's just a clear audience, but one of them's blah, 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 blah. And you can see Countess Castilian head on her knuckles, just nodding.
Okay. And what's the knight's name? The tall one?
Count Kel Erica.
Kel Erica. Not Key.
I can get you her last name.
I might even have it on.
She's nicknamed Half Blood because she's a half elf. I forget her.
I just got Kel Erica as a knight.
Perfect. That's close enough.
Yeah, whatever. And then I had to. Too lazy to write down notes. But yeah, she's there. Randall's there. What is Randall? Is he like picking his nose?
Ramdal is writing in a book, but your angle of viewing does not allow you to see what his notes are.
It's probably drawn a gnoll.
Larkhon is your name. Larkhon. Larkhon.
Okay.
You haven't gained a level to cast another Identify on the amulet, right?
I have plenty of souls that I can use to do that if I feel like it. So I probably will. I forgot to memorize Identify today, but I guess we can deal with that tomorrow or whatever. Preparations for that. I do have 3 souls, and I should be hitting. I don't know when. Are we doing XP at the end of the session?
Yeah.
So I won't. So yeah. So I'm not going to level up and then be able to identify. Okay. But I can just use the troll souls if that's what I deem most worthy.
If you use a troll soul, you're going to overcharge it by...
How would I overcharge it?
Well, I'm saying, like, you use a troll soul to increase the spell level, right?
Yeah, about like 3.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
what I mean.
Can I take them one at a time? Like, can I use one troll soul?
No. It is a single soul. It's just a
so I
soul
can't
that is
split
triple
it
value.
to replenish the true seeing and my stat. Like, I can't combine it to like replenish stats and cast a spell at a high level.
You can expel it to replenish stats or to increase the power of a spell being cast.
Okay. Do I care that much about knowing exactly what happened with the amulet? Yeah, I kind of do.
Are you casting an identify spell, Ryan?
Yeah, I will do that. That'll be the day after though, because I will have to prepare the items and rememorize. Oops. What have I done?
Have you ruined the spreadsheet?
Not really. Okay, there we go. Thornwood, Bramdle, sucks. No. And Larcon.
Right. Notes are made. Where to? What to?
I think I get back to, so I guess I finished my research. I don't know if I still have more. I need to head into Misty Rapids to get my granite and diamond dust.
That's fine. We can just, we don't have to role play all of that.
And then I'll prepare the amulet for identification and then do my identifies whenever I can.
Mm-hmm.
I think it takes, it takes some number of hours to, I think it's like 8 hours or something to prepare. So maybe I'll do that first and then go into town on the errand shopping.
Okay.
If I can, if it's still early enough that I can memorize spells.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can just go ahead and skip a couple of days so we don't have to worry about the exact details.
Yeah, okay. Cool. But Georg he's smart. He can think about these things in at least somewhat optimal ways.
Yeah. I'm sure you optimize the process, but I like to think of game time, like playing time, as a resource. And
I'm not always the best at that. I can get sidetracked into the details. All right, so let's do some identifies. I guess I'll leave my true seeing uncharged and use this troll soul to cast identify. God, I don't even have anything else to identify other than the amulet, but I think it's worth it to have another go at it. Figure out what the heck that thing was. And does it overcharge my casting level? It does. So I should have a maxed out chance to identify.
Yes. 90% chance is maxed.
Okay.
So you, just on the border, 90 exactly.
Nice.
You cast Identify when everything is prepared and ready. Slate is cleaned. All the items have been meticulously.
My closet.
Yeah. All right. The reading that you get back is if you use if you already have soul charged into the gem and you attempt to recharge it, it skips the gem and melds with you. And for a short period of time, you have your mind joins slightly with the mind, or your soul joins with the soul that was overcharged.
Huh. So you like make an Archon?
Sort of.
So if it wasn't this unintelligible troll, would I have been able to like gain information? Like if I did this on a more intelligent creature, like a wizard or something like that, would I gain their knowledge?
That requires experimentation. The Identify spell will not reveal all those details to you.
I'm trying to figure that you tried to defend this as a feature, not a bug. I guess I don't know if Georg has that on Faith. But so I'm trying to think of possible uses for because you tend to think of magical items. I mean, artifacts are different, especially one that's supposedly created by a god. I mean, who knows? In all likelihood, it was probably made by some priests at the year zero. They probably blew up the world with this thing, or at least it was privy to the downfall of humanity. Or yeah.
So, yeah, I think you are asking very reasonable questions, very logical questions.
All right. Is there anything else? Do you want to roll on another property?
Yes, let's property.
Sometimes I wonder if you're just like making shit up, or if you've actually got this item fully documented somewhere.
Well, you have reached the end of the properties on the document list. You succeed on your next check.
You're telling me I fully comprehend the power of Malchus?
There are no more things left to be discovered through an Identify spell.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Cool. Well, I guess that was worth a troll soul. I'll be farming,
especially because you rolled a 90 on that. Had you not used a troll soul, you would have not.
Well, I couldn't have even re-rolled if I didn't charge myself a level somehow.
That is true.
And I don't quite have enough money to buy a new gemstone.
Nope, not yet.
But I'll get a ruby mine going with that troll farm, or make a friend who has one.
I hear there's an elf somewhere who's got a ruby mine.
Huh.
It's far, far away. Maybe you have to do some interdimensional travel, but he might be willing to help you out.
Alrighty. Deleting a pearl. All right. So then there's 24 hours of Georg unconscious in the wizard closet.
Yep.
And then I recover and
and we can go back. Any other things that you'd like to do before we continue our adventuring?
Yeah. How long do I think before I can get a water closet installed? Like, is the work at the workshop done? And like,
wait, a water clock or a water closet?
Water clock.
Okay, because a water closet's something different.
In my delirium at that Zero Con, I'm like laying there redesigning my room as a water closet, and I invent a toilet in my imagination. But a wizard in D&D would never spend his time inventing a water closet.
No. You can finish the water clock in 2 days.
Okay. I should maybe Emma has something to add to the... She's got to have some opinion on Mother Ullman being assassinated. God, I don't even know what rumors are in town. Did the Wraith do it? Or did they was it a person? I don't know. So we'll head into Misty Rapids after my coma.
Okay.
Check on things before committing a few days to water clocking.
As you ask around in Misty Rapids.
Yeah, so I do need to stop by my jeweler to get the diamond dust.
Yeah, you get a bunch of diamond dust.
Probably it's just a pickup. I think I made an arrangement with him to take the
spare dust at the end of every month.
Yeah, and do you remember what he said? How much he said he could give me? Was it 10 doses a month?
I think it's 10 doses a month.
Okay. And I think originally he was trying to charge me money for it, and then I feel like we kind of moved past that, and it was just as long as I haunted his shop, he would keep giving me the diamond dust, as long as it was just scrap.
Yeah.
It was slow to accumulate, but it's been more than a month since I made it.
I think the dark and terrifying wizard has, Scared
I
this man
probably
into
just
giving
show
him
up and
dust
say good to
for
see
free.
you, and so it sounds like he just knows to hand me a small pouch of diamond dust.
Yes.
And we make the visit as quick as possible
Yes.
in the area where it exchanged. Fair enough. And then I will head to the hill of the temple. For some reason, I feel like the jeweler was actually like just down the corner from the. Aren't there two jewelers across the street on this corner? Wasn't that the thing?
I don't remember exactly which corner it was, but there are two jewelers across the street from one another.
Okay, so I trudge up the hill to the main temple. I ride my phantom steed up the hill to the temple, but I leave it a respectful distance away.
Sure.
And walk on up.
Okay.
Maybe should I pay homage at the Temple of Purification? Would that be appropriate? Let's start with the main temple and see if I can.
Are you bringing your water clock?
Is it done until I start installing? Like, am I at the point where I would like show up with a construction crew?
Sure, if you want to. It can't like it took 2 more days to finish. So if you just wait 2 days, then you can be coming here with the water clock in tow.
Okay, if it's at that point, I'll do that. Yeah. I'll have showed up with a cart. So I guess I'll come back to the mid. So yeah, I'll ride back to Misty Rapids, finish the clock, skip forward 2 days.
Yeah.
I might continue. During those days, I will continue to continue to do my scrying. Maybe I should also do. I've never cast a clairaudience.
Yes, you have. Didn't you?
Very successfully. I finally procured those 100 GP listening horns that are consumed in the spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even used anything useful. I was going to memorize it and do it to figure out what happened to the Rollman, but I've sort of found out just with my actual ears.
Right.
So I'll memorize one clairvoyance, one clairaudience the next day. And I want to. What time of day is it? I want to scry on Randall's study, the one that I had been into before that got blown up when he opened the letter.
That study has been completely repaired and fixed. It's all back to normal. When you're scrying on it,
he's not there, I assume.
No, he's not there when you are scrying on it right now. Mm-hmm. But it all looks like it's been repaired. There's still some like blackened bits on the ceiling. You probably actually can't see that. So you actually see the study totally repaired.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That fireball or whatever it was months and months ago now.
Yeah. Does he have any interesting items that would catch my eye? I mean, I've got 8 minutes to peek at it. Like, do an inventory. Is it mostly just books?
I think you're just like, oh, he's got a microscope. Oh, look at that. Yeah. That's so cool. But nothing. Mm-hmm. There's not like, a ring of power sitting on the desk or anything.
Sure. All right. And then I will use my clairaudience and the horn to listen in on the audience chamber, whatever the meeting room in Thornwood Hall. But I can't see what's going on. I don't think. Can you combine the two and like do the same place, same times?
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. I think you can combine the both of them. Okay,
but yeah, and focus them on the same place and here. Like you think of it as like a bunch of different feeds, and you can just switch whatever. And wizarding gets weird sometimes.
Yeah, I think you might only be able to concentrate on one at a time.
Yeah.
But you could switch between the two every minute. Yeah.
Just doing. I'm not doing that, but I was curious.
Okay. Yeah. So you can do both, but you can only concentrate on one. So you could get a vision of a room for a minute, and then you could hear for a minute, and then you could get a visual for a minute, and you can go back and forth, but not simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
So you are casting clairaudience in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You're hearing a peasant talking about how his neighbor was cut down a tree that was on his property. That was my tree, and he cut it down. And the other guy's like, your tree was leaning over. All the branches were on my side, and it was dropping all sorts of rotten fruit all the time, and I had to clean it up. It might have been your tree, but I had to deal with the problem. That's not fair. Just because it happened to be growing on your land doesn't make it your tree, because all the fruit and branches are on my side, and So
the spell lasts for 8 minutes. Can you summarize?
Yeah. So they're making a dispute, and
can I hear who else is there weighing in? Like, do I hear
Yeah, a few minutes later,
I hear Randall weigh in.
No, Randall doesn't weigh in on this shit. Countess Castilian eventually says, it wasn't your job to cut down the tree, but you're an asshole for causing this problem with your neighbor and not willing to help him out. You're both idiots. If you're really bringing this problems to the Count, you have bigger problems in your lives. Go back to your farm, stop being assholes, and work it out like civilized human beings. And then the people, you can hear protests and then guards moving in to escort the people out. You hear some more of the next person's problems, and you can hear Countess Castilian giving a big and heavy sigh, and proclaiming that there needs to be order, and you can't just come bitching to the legal system every time you have a simple problem. You need to be working on your own to resolve these things. It's a pretty boring day.
Well, it was only 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty boring 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so that was the days we were skipping. The first day, and then I'll need a second day. That's fine. I don't think I have anything else to check on.
All right.
I'll just work through on that thing, and then I assemble a crew. I don't know if I probably need some help. I got Jebib.
Whatever. Yeah, you can just hire some people to bring it out with you. These minor details, I think we can gloss over.
Okay.
You can transport.
Probably between me and Jebib, and we can get it into place. I'll probably cast a feather fall on the equipment to make it easier to hoist and move. I think between the two of us, we could get it installed. So I'll get it. Yeah, the next day I'll spend finishing it up, loading up the pieces into the cart. Mm-hmm. With a regular old donkey, and have 2 days later or whatever, Jebib and I will.
Yeah, you install the water clock in the appropriate place in the temple. Mother Emma,
I think I was assuming that it would be fitted like in the like it would actually be a clock face affixed to like some gravity propelling mechanism.
Yeah.
Right, kind of water clock. So there's actually like a clock face at the front of the temple.
Do you want like over the door?
That's what I was imagining. That's a large, several-foot clock that like people in town can now tell the time with.
Yes.
Is that not a philanthropic invention?
It is.
Who can deny the holiness of Ark Carl, the engineer?
It takes
Such
you
a
and Jebib
man.
and maybe a few stone workers in order to like move the bits about. And I think you mostly oversee it while they do all the labor and give them instructions and. We don't need to go into too many of the details there, but
how many gods are there? Could it have been like the faces of the gods at the different times of day?
I think the clerics would argue about that.
Okay,
so you would create a lot of bureaucracy.
We have that argument. I mean, I probably just have numbers, numerals. Right. But there's probably I probably incite an argument amongst a discussion amongst the clerics over how we would position which times would correspond to which gods.
Because there's 7 major gods, but there's 12 numbers. So
I think I use that to distract the clerics while I roll up with the laborers, and so while they're having the discussion, I'm just like, just get it up, guys, get it up.
All right, you get the clock built up there. It's got you teach the clergy how to. Refill it so it doesn't ever run out of energy.
Yeah, I guess I didn't work this into the design at this point, but eventually I could probably set up like a water tower and just teleport like 100 years worth of water from the river at some point.
Yeah.
And just make it a perpetual motion device.
Yeah.
Effectively. Even without magic. I don't know how long it would take for a water tower to run out.
It might make a little more sense to have it manually refillable in case there's an error.
Yeah, I was thinking that this is not happening in 2 days, but to have like a water wheel powering system of the Misty Rapids.
You could get a windmill to power it, put it on top of the temple.
Yeah, I'll like climb it. Probably just a little small. It was a water clock though.
Right.
But can it be? But if I could use the wind power to pump water,
water from the bottom back to the top. Yeah, because that way,
so
if it's not windy,
I spent
it would
another
still
day
work.
at the site of the temple getting all this set up.
The windmill will take. That's another thing, and you're probably going to run into some bureaucratic problems with that because the clerics aren't going to want to put a windmill on top of their temple. It's not.
It'd be
aesthetically
so
pleasing.
discreet. Okay, but until then, we teach an acolyte how to climb up to the top of the temple and the water in the top of the water clock.
Yeah.
It's if I get a moment alone with that acolyte, I try and with whoever's I try to inspire them how the noble meditation task, the task of getting to carry this water up. I don't know. I have a religion proficiency. Maybe I can.
They seem genuinely surprised that you're talking about meditation and discipline rather than eating babies.
All right. I try to make it a positive experience. Am I able to catch any rumors about what happened over in the Temple of Purification, or is it just like it's not addressed? Okay, it is. There are people talking about it.
There was a straight up assassin.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
did they
out
catch
there.
The assassin?
What?
Did they catch the assassin?
Yeah.
Okay. Who? I mean, where was the assassin? How? I guess I'll.
The assassin came into the Temple of Purification, killed her in the night, was caught and killed in the process, like after he killed her.
So she was stabbed to death?
Stabbed to death.
The mother? And none of the priests were there, or none of the clerics were there to heal her?
Well, there were no other clerics in the temple at the time, and the wounding was, bad enough that by the time someone who could heal got to her, it was too late. None of the people there, or I should say, it was a fatal stabbing. The intervention of healing was attempted, but it was too late by the time the healers were there. And the assassin was cut down in the process.
Is there any sense of what's going on with
the assassin? Came from the west. Mother Ullman was right. Came from Stromheim.
So they did someone interrogated the assassin?
You're not sure how they know where the assassin came from, actually. That seems to be a missing part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
You start asking these questions, and
now?
the people are like, I don't know how that happened. They said the assassin was dead. That's a good question. How'd they know it came from Stromheim?
It's probably a long shot to get my hands on Mother Ullman's corpse, isn't it?
Yeah, she has already been buried. You'd have to dig up her grave.
Which, is not out of my wheelhouse, but interesting. So has her flock, dispersed following her death, or is did she have a second in, is there someone?
There is a second in command, a deputy, who is trying to take over.
A cleric of Nidinus, or
just a
priestess?
A priestess. Who has been trying to keep everyone together, but between the failed purification of Georg, Ark-Karl, and the assassination of Mother Ullman,
did they say that?
The grip on the town has fallen apart. I was
purified. I was reborn under the watchful hand of Nidinus.
Yeah. Her flock has kind of fallen apart now. Her grip over the town has been significantly lessened. Well,
of course, she's dead, but it sounds like her followers are just...
They're disbanding.
Yeah.
Some of them have formed their own subgroups. Oh, no, this is the proper way to do it, and kind of splintered off. So instead of 100 or 1,000 followers of this, now there's 400 followers that are still loyal, and then 60 that have gone here, 100 that have gone there, 10 that have gone here, a whole bunch that have just disappeared and no longer are faithful. It's all just fallen to shit. It's like the end of the Roman Empire.
I don't think this is how Georg wanted it to happen. I mean, he certainly didn't like Mother Ullman, but he's certainly sorrowful over hearing this news. And I assume this is pieced together over the course of the day.
Yeah, over various things you overhear and questions you ask.
I do want to know where that assassin wound up. If there actually was a captured assassin.
The assassin's body was thrown into the river and washed downriver. Probably eaten by wild animals.
Do I know who had the assassin? If the sheriff came in, or if
The assassin was
And
cut
saw
down
him?
by the people, the clerics and priests.
Interrogated and tossed in the river.
It sounds like it was killed before it could be interrogated. It sounds like he
Okay.
was killed in the process of killing Mother Ullman.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff
Okay.
oversaw it, and then the body was immediately thrown in the river,
And purified.
purified and done away
How
with.
that works. All right. Is Mother Emma around for this whole?
Yeah,
to
you
be-
could talk to Mother Emma about whatever you'd like.
I don't think I don't know. Sounds like I got the. I mean, she doesn't have a particularly divergent opinion of the affairs. She's, yeah.
She is mourning the loss of a public figure. Assassins are bad, even if you don't like the person that was assassinated. Assassination is still not the right way of solving these things.
Mm-hmm.
But, Tempos has a plan. He's created our fates, and if it is their fate to be assassinated, to die at the hand of a man working in the shadows, then that is the will of the gods, and it must be done.
Yeah, I think she will make very much more sensible high cleric in town.
She is
And
now the only cleric in town.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well,
Now the entire town looks up to a 16-year-old girl. It's a lot of responsibility for someone so young.
she'll be fine.
Well,
Will she be fine? Does she look fine?
she seems wise. She seems like she's got her shit together, but at the same time, she's still 16. God knows she must be having all sorts of problems internally. You know?
Yeah.
She's-
She probably doesn't want. It'd probably be inappropriate for me to offer her stone skin.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's up to you to decide whether that's inappropriate or not. Do you have an etiquette proficiency?
I do have an etiquette proficiency.
You can roll
Can
a
I it?
proficiency check and determine whether or not that's inappropriate.
Stat is etiquette.
Charisma.
Just straight.
Yeah.
All right. My charisma is 11. So. Nope.
You're not sure.
Yeah, I think I do. Like at some point, I don't know if am I near her when I hear that Mother Ullman was stabbed, or is
No,
she-
you heard that back in.
That's something with the disc. I'll like whisper surreptitiously in her ear, like if, I don't not. So I don't openly. I don't like make it a public declaration, but I will like politely, in my best attempt at being polite, just to her, say, if you ever need any extra protection, and I like knock on my stoned skin. It probably looks. It looks odd, right? I'm like ashen and.
You
stony.
look like your skin is granite.
Mm-hmm. It still moves like flesh, though, right? And it, like I don't. Right? I'm thinking like one of those. I never actually saw the movie, and I probably might get. Is it the Watchmen? There's like the professor, or what was? No, I'm mixing two things. I mean, sort of like that, but also in whatever that Ridley Scott sequel to Aliens was, where there's like the alien
Prometheus?
people. Prometheus, yeah, what the aliens looked like in that.
Terrible movie.
Yeah, it was. But that's what I'm thinking in terms of stone skin. Anyways, yeah,
Okay.
maybe motion to some diamond dust. I mean, maybe I don't know if she can catch my insinuation.
She
but I
shakes
offer.
her head and says, Tempos has a plan.
Well,
If it is
it's-
my fate to be killed by an assassin, then so be it. Your intervention
Yeah, in
would
hindsight, that
have
was
no
probably
real effect.
yeah, that was probably in poor taste to offer, but I figured it should be out there. Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, these are dark times, and yes,
Mhm.
we can't go it alone. Okay.
Right. Anything else?
No, I'll stop by. Do I want to stop by the sheriff and ask for his assessment of that day, or do I have to gather enough information? I think the story seems pretty clear, but who sent the assassin? How did?
No one knows. That's how assassins end up working.
If they're good. Well, I think it would also be in poor taste to visit the Temple of Purification and pay homage there. Can I ask Mother Emma about that, or would she have?
Oh, what about visiting it?
Yeah, if she had any suggestion as to what would be an appropriate. Condolences.
She says it is never inappropriate to mourn the dead.
Where was she buried?
Behind the Temple of Purification. There's a small cemetery.
Is it in the compound or?
Outside the wall.
Okay. All right, once the tower, I will go check out the site. I'll walk over. I guess I don't think I have my Phantom Steed. I think I took the cart into town with Jebib. I'll send Jebib home with the empty cart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll head over to the Temple of Purification, probably at the end of the day, the last day of work.
Okay.
So it's probably evening, sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever been to this cemetery, but I would have ridden past it, right? On that road from the keep into town.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So I walk over to it and see if I can find, is there anyone around?
No, there's no one around right now, but there is clearly a fresh grave with flowers over it.
Okay. Are they tombstones that mark the graves here, or?
Yeah, tombstones.
Okay. So it's just like a
grounded
tombstone. It says, "Here lies
Mother."
I don't even know her first name. There's something Ullman.
I can find it somewhere. Maybe not. Mother Ullman, I think, is just because she's not a noble, so that's her only name.
But it probably has it doesn't have, her first and only name is Ullman.
Yeah, she's not a noble, so she only has the one name.
Here lies Mother Ullman. Does it have like dates or something? Does it have any epitaph?
No. There's just a big leaf carved underneath her name. Mark her as a cleric of Nadinus.
Probably good at flowers or something, huh? I got a lot in my pockets, but no flowers. Well, sprinkle a little bit of iron powder in the dirt, and Georg says his goodbyes to himself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She was an unpleasant, haberdashery old lady. That's not the right word for haberdasher.
No, haberdasher is a person who makes hats.
Who makes hats. I don't know why that word popped into my head just
because
there.
you watched the Hateful Eight.
Possible. At least, yes. Though she was an unpleasant lady, I don't think she deserved this. I'm kind of surprised they didn't bury her. I guess that old temple is probably not a very holy place.
No, the one out in the
I would
woods.
have expected more for, yeah.
Yeah, that also seems to have been pretty abandoned. It seems to not be anyone's holy ground anymore.
Well, I got nothing. I pat the gravestone and walk away.
Okay. Why don't we take a break, because we're at about break time, and when we come back, we will see what Gary... I think you've wrapped up all of your affairs, all of your spell component gathering and everything?
Yeah, I should be all set on spell components and on crafting things. There's always more spells to learn, but we'll see. Why don't we head to break and then...
We'll see what happens on the other side of our break. See you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.